Hello guys and welcome to a new video. This time around I'll show you my latest vision clear. This time I did it with two masks. The mask of a burnt bridge, which leaves void zones behind me that drain sanity, and the mask of a Daredevil that increases the sanity damage I take from creatures by 400%. Also, all enemies deal 50% more damage and have 50% more health. So let's get started here. I'm using a Battle Scout Augment rune. I also got my Ugly Flask active, and I got the Ghastly Goulash buff food, which gives me 2% health regen each second. So what I'm going to do now, as in all my visions, I'll start with the two guards here, who take a little bit time to kill. I'm not sure why I deal so low damage to them, but the first one dies quite quickly, the other one takes a while. My game plan here is to start on the drag side of the vision, just because the area that comes after that with Rexxar is so hard for me, because I take some time to kill Rexxar and it just takes so much sanity damage in that time. So I'm stealthing through here, going to the portal here to enter the first corrupted zone, the drag. The madness active here is Entomophobia again, and what that does is just spawning these bugs on me, as you can see on the left side of the screen, but as soon as I jump they get lost. It's a pretty easy madness to deal with, just jump a few times around and you shouldn't have a problem at all. One thing I changed from my previous runs is that I put Purification Protocol in my major now. That's on a 1 minute cooldown, deals lots of AoE and has the chance to kill some enemies in here instantly, which is pretty good. Yeah, in this pack just be sure that you kick this Dominator, because otherwise you get a 5-second stun that really hurts. And you really don't want that to happen. So the next thing that is happening is that I'm just opening the doors, as you all have probably seen by now. In this vision you have to clear all the buildings from either enemies or survivors by just clicking the doors and killing enemies that come out of those. Using Purification Protocol here again, and as you can see, all aberrations get stunned for 3 seconds, and also we just take a huge amount of damage and some of them get annihilated. Okay, opening the next doors here, killing the enemy that comes out of this building. As far as I have seen so far, the rate of enemies to friendly mobs is always the same, and the enemy always spawns here, so there's no RNG in those buildings. This thing happened to me quite some times. I just can't click the building until Garona finished her dialogue, so I'm just waiting for her to finish it so I can click the buildings to progress in the zone. Okay, the goal with this mini boss is to kill him as fast as possible, and I do that by just potting early and using my bloodlust on him. Probably a little bit of overkill, because he dies quite quickly as well, especially with my Purification Protocol. But if he doesn't die quickly, he does his shield ability, which is pretty annoying to deal with just because it takes some time. And this way I have some of my bloodlust left for Mishra as well. Now I'm entering the Valley of Strength, or Valley of Honor, I'm so sorry. And here my objective is to kill Rexxar. I have to kill Mishra here first, because she has stealth detection. That also gives me 200 sanity back, which is pretty good. Just killing the scarabs here. Trying to dodge my mirror images from the madness active in the lost areas this week, which is split personality. If I were to hit one of these mirror images, I would get disoriented for, I think it's 3 seconds, and I really don't want that. Looting some corrupted momentous here, and then I'm waiting for my split personality to spawn again, just to engage in the next pack. I Purification Protocol this together with the big mob, just because they apply this nasty dot that drains my sanity, and I want them to die quickly. Unfortunately, I get knocked back into the other pack here, so it gets a little bit scary, especially since I get disoriented in the void zones from the Mask of the Burnt Bridge. Luckily, my archive thingy is active, the last talent from the mother talent tree, which reduces my sanity loss by 100% for a set amount of time and gives me some, I think, movement speed. So I didn't get a sanity loss there, otherwise that would have been the dead of my run for sure. Now I'm playing the next pack, also looking at my debuff bar so that I can dispel the dot that they put on me after my stun wears off. Here I get stunned again because it's a really narrow area here. As you can see, I got the dot on me again and I should be dispelling it any second. Yeah, there it is. Looting the next Black Empire cache and going to Rexxar. Here is where it gets difficult. Rexxar is super hard for me to deal with, just because his sanity drain and the damage in general is insane. So what I'm doing here is dropping my orb and pulling him into it. And then I just wait for my purification protocol until the first boar is here, just so that I can get a little bit of damage out. I'm using my interrupt here, I'm running into the trap, which is pretty bad, and you can see my health just dropping. I'm dropping my insanity, my purification protocol here. My sheet death is proccing and I still lose so much sanity from these boars that I can't kick because I don't have enough CC to kick all of them. And yeah, as you can see, I used my orb on this boss, I used my cheat death on this boss, and still my sanity is close to 0. But as we all know, I have 2 orbs left and there are 2 more areas to deal with, so I'm teleporting back with the help of this totem, and then I'm starting to go into the next area. Just popping a regrowth here to apply my blood talents, and then I'm stealthing through to the next area. I'm always looking into the Blacksmith store here on the left side, because sometimes there's a mob spawning that gives me 10% more damage throughout the entire vision, so that's a really important buff to grab if you can. You should usually do it at the start of a zone, but yeah, I wanted to do the right side first and didn't bother to check, to be honest. Okay, I dropped my orb here, just because I had some downtime with clicking the door, and I thought I could use it there wisely. Now I'm pulling all these mobs together, dropping my purification protocol again, getting hit by this knockback, but that isn't too bad. And as you can see here, he just got annihilated, which is pretty good. Okay, now another lost area. I'm going into it with full sanity and 1 orb left, so I should be pretty fine. But we'll see how it turns out. Here is split personality active again, so dodge those mirror images, you know the deal. I'm pulling these 2 big mobs here into the next pack, which isn't super smart when you don't have any cooldowns up, just because everything lives along. And now I'm standing on this corner here with the mirror images spawning, which drains my sanity quite a bit, but we should still be able to recover from that. Okay, now that these mobs are finally dead, aside from these appendages, I just kill one of those off quickly, and I think I pull the other one into the other pack, but no, I get disoriented again. I'm still pulling it into the next pack, pulling the boss onto it, and purification protocol blasting these ads away. The fact that it stuns is a huge help here, because there are so many abilities that just got stopped by the purification protocol, which makes my life a lot easier. Okay, and get knocked around here. One thing you can do, and which I try to do here, is getting disoriented on purpose, just because then the boss will sometimes throw the NPC next to you instead of you around, which is a big help, but it only works sometimes, and it unfortunately didn't work here. Here I made sure to kill the Dominator first, again for the stun, and then killed off the other mobs. And now I'll just kill this big pack, waiting for my purification protocol to come up again, so that I can blast the mini boss away here. Even though I'm not sure if I'm using it here, because the next mini boss is pretty hard and I should be saving it for the next mini boss, which apparently I'm doing, so good job me. Yeah, boss dead, the mirror image is dodged. Just picking up the next Black Empire cache for some bonus mementos, and then I'm going for the boss of this area. Using my pre-potion because this one really hurts and I'm trying to blast it away as fast as possible. I'm not using my purification protocol yet though, because I want to use it when the ads are spawning. Unfortunately I get CC'd here and a lot of things are happening and my sanity is dropping super low, especially if you remember that my cheat dev is already down. So I'm a little bit panicking here, but fortunately my anti-sanity loss tech advancements procced here, so I didn't lose any sanity, and I got 200 back by killing the mob because he was an elite, and with elite termination we get 200 sanity back for every elite mob that we kill. So now I'm making my way to the last corrupted area, and the last area we have to clear before we are going to Thrall. And here I'm playing especially cautious, because I know the area isn't really hard. I probably don't need all my sanity or a full sanity bar or an orb, whatever you want to call it, at Thrall. So I'm pulling this one by one, just so that I don't die to some random CC or something like that. And I'm making sure to click all the totems to continue here. Okay, I'm using all my CCs so that this mental assault and the abilities from the elemental don't kill me. And I'm on 50 sanity here, so I figure I should drop my orb. Clicking the totem now to destroy it, and I'm pulling the next pack into the orb, just because the sanity regen continues while I'm in combat. The only thing that is restricted is orb placement in combat. Can't put down a new orb while you're in combat, but you can benefit from it giving back sanity in combat. So placing it and then pulling something onto it is a really smart thing to do. Okay, now I'm pulling the next two packs and I'm placing my purification protocol onto them, which should just annihilate them, as you saw on the left side there, and then I'm killing this mob here. Unfortunately, I'm running around the wrong corner and I'm pulling the next two mobs, who will prove to be really annoying because this totem is also placed there, right in between my void zones that are left behind from the mask. So I'm always getting pulled back into these void zones and I lose sanity there. I should kill the totem sooner, but for some reason I decided not to do it early. So that's what I get from that. But now the totem's dead, the mob is dead, and I can go onto this boss here. At least that's what I think, because I forgot to click the totems on the pathways here. So I have to backtrack, kill the totems by right-clicking them, and then I'm going on to the boss. Luckily my pre-potion was a 1-minute potion, so it's still running, and I can kill them up here. Dropping my purification protocol because there are no ads I have to wait for, and then hopelessness gets activated. I just have to walk into the orb to stop the silence and then continue to wail on the boss. Okay, here in the last seconds another hopelessness got through. I picked up the orb, but the mob was already dead, so it didn't really matter. So now we are at 800 sanity and have only Thrall left. Luckily, because I used my bloodlust so early, it's up again, so I'm planning on using it on this boss again. And I needed to kill the boss in time. I'm picking up the Black Empire cache here just because more mementos are always great. And then I'm going into the boss room. Applying my blood talents, pre-potting, and I'm focusing the boars here because, as you've seen in the Rexxar fight, they really fucked me up. So I used my AE stun here and the kick to prevent all the void quills to go through. Thank you, Windows Defender. and now I'm just wailing on Thrall. I'm placing my Purification Protocol here, trying to dodge all the shit, while also picking up the orb to decurse the silence that is placed on me. And now I just have to kill him. Just because I was so panicking here, to be honest, because I didn't want to fuck up this run. I'm not playing my rotation properly, so I could have dealt way more damage if it just stayed calm. Guess that's my biggest advice for you in general. Just stay calm during these visions. If you are focused and don't panic, you can dodge most of the abilities and CCs here, and you don't get into situations that are really scary. As you can see here, I got 500 sanity left when killing Thrall, and I'm done with the vision. So now I got a whole lot of achievements. One of those was a full clear of Orgrimmar, which I apparently didn't do yet. And then I also got achievements for doing it with one mask and for 2 masks, because I haven't done a 1 mask run beforehand, at least not a full clear. I got 2 pets out of this run, a contract for a troop, and 2 transmogs for these masks. Also I got a 455 item. Unluckily it wasn't corrupted, so it didn't really matter. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them, and I'll see you next time.